Spirit guides, we're just going to refer to them as beings that have your highest interest at heart. There are some very high level beings, and there are some sort of, let's just say there's a hierarchy. I don't want to say lower level, but there's a hierarchy, or there's a difference between the different types of guides. So before we go there, though, let's just talk about two main categories. And those I break down into personal guides and other beings. Right? So your personal guides are guides who work with you specifically, and they accompany you. And some of them come into this lifetime with you, whereas others you may pick up along the way, but they are very much interested in your life, your path, all the questions that you have about life. They're here to answer those questions and to help you move through this lifetime, create what you wanted to create, achieve what you wanted to achieve, and basically achieve the learning and growth that you're here for. And some of those guides, I mean, the ones that come in with you, you actually have an agreement with coming in, and it's not a one-way street. It's mutually beneficial. They have an interest as well. So guides that come in with you might be home, and I'm just going to go ahead and say it, home star system, home planet guides, because we are from other places. And their interest might be they're working on understanding something, and you're going to be a representative who's here and who can basically transmit information back and forth. There's a lot of that when you get into your personal guides. So what I've found, I do a session that I call Meet Your Guides. I've been doing this for a few years, where we connect with people's guides, we find out how many they have, who they are, kind of get a sense of them, and ask questions. And it's absolutely fascinating because it's never what anyone is expecting. And it's just so fascinating to me to see just the wide range of who's here, the guides they have, what they've actually come here for. We get that information as well. So, but what I've found is most people have between 5 and 7 guides. And then some of those guides are going to be guides that come and go throughout life. So if you're working on learning a particular lesson, you might acquire a new guide. When you resolve a lesson, that guide might go, and you don't have to ask for it to leave. It'll go on its own. These are sort of processes that happen on a spiritual level. So on another level, you're in communication with them, your higher self is talking to them. So you don't have to worry about those details. A lot of times we acquire guides without realizing it, and it's because we're trying to learn something, and that intention of wanting, the desire to learn something, impulse can draw things to us, and we can take on a new guide in that way. That happens often. So when we talk about the other types of guides, the ones who are not personal guides, those can be any number of different types of beings, all the way up to beings who are from other places in the cosmos. So, Pleiadians, Arcturians, a lot of you have heard of these different higher level beings. So these are going to be beings who aren't necessarily, just because they're not your personal guides, they're not necessarily concerned with all the details of your life, but they are here to assist you in your learning and your understanding, and they're generally more interested in the whole of humanity, and you are part of humanity. You are part of that field. So any assistance given to you is also assistance given to humanity. It's a way of working with the whole.